Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. And this is a little bit of some water cooler talk. I had a couple of minutes here and decided to break away from work for just a little bit and to decompress just a little and hang out with you guys. It is basically my lunch hour, and I'm going to spend a little bit of that time with you guys, chatting about some things that that are top of mind for me, that have come up in the news and may also be top of mind for you. And so, as always, I hope that you guys actually enjoy the conversation, as you will be shaping the tone and texture of this conversation based upon your comments, your questions, etc., etc. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room, and then we are going to get started. Tina is in the house. Tina, it is always good to see you. Thank you for actually being here in the chat, because if it weren't for you being here in the chat, I would have to send you emails to say, hey, Tina, are you okay? Because there was a chat where you weren't here because you're living life. You're still doing your, life and other stuff. But you were like, where's Tina? Is Tina okay? Can somebody reach out to Tina? So thank you, Tina, for being here. As always, it is good to see you. My man, Randy or Snake, how you doing, bro? I definitely appreciate it. I saw the post that you put up the other day with that amazing A-OK that you and young Matthew worked on for me. I just reposted the video on Instagram a few moments ago, so hopefully folks will check that out either on your page or on mine. So it's always good to see you, my friend. I definitely appreciate you. Eddie Torres is in the house. Eddie, welcome to the live stream. Scrolling down through the comments here. My man Tommy Mayo, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Michael is in the house. aka Nick, it is good to see you, my friend. Hydra Collectibles over in the UK, it is good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well with you. Connecting Comics is in the house. Young Matthew, there he is. Young T is here, shouting out Gibbon Gang. Real, how you doing? Real 15, it is good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. I think I said hello to Timothy, but maybe not. Maybe not. There we go. For Timothy, how you doing, brother? H Factor is in the house. It is always good to see you, my friend. Kimball is here. It's good to see you. 1G is in the house. Reyes Jr., welcome. Yeah, my man Vika, how you doing, bro? It is definitely good to see all of you guys, and I want to thank you for spending just a little bit of your lunch time with me hanging out. And I guess if you're on the East Coast, it's not quite lunch, and if you're in the UK, it's definitely not lunch. Thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate it. So I want to give you guys a couple of quick updates on a few things here. The 7,000 subscriber giveaway. We did the 7,000 subscriber giveaway yesterday. And shockingly, that prize still has not been claimed. And, it is the policy that we don't go looking for people, right? We don't go looking for people. So tomorrow is the deadline for the first place to actually claim their prize, which honestly is a fantastic prize, right? If this is not claimed tomorrow, we will go down the list to number 2. So if you are number 2 on that list, you probably want to send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, because I will be bundling this up to send off to someone else. And if the second place person doesn't pick it, it will go to the third, and so on and so on. And so definitely would encourage people, if you have not yet watched that video in which we give away the 7,000 subscriber book, you definitely want to go back and watch that video. Because you could very well be the winner, and we are going to roll down the list. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember who the winner is. So I would have to go back to the video myself to refresh my own memory as to who it is. But hopefully that person will claim the prize. If not, second place, you will be the big winner. Winner, chicken dinner, as my niece oftentimes says. So as another heads up and / reminder, I'm actually going to be on Comics with Bueller's channel later today at 5:30 Pacific time. He has been doing a series of interviews with YouTubers all over the course of this week. I think he's had Jim Mint on the show. Comic Tom was on the show yesterday. Today was my turn. And then I think Simple Man will be on tomorrow, and maybe somebody after that. To be honest with you, I don't know all the details, but we're going to be talking about whatever it is that Bueller has on his agenda. I have not seen the question, so we're just going to do this on the fly, off the cuff, and hope for the best. That's what we're going to do. But that is going down today. Comics with Bueller, who just exceeded 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That is a huge milestone. Huge milestone. I'm super proud of him. Not jealous, but definitely envious. But we are on our way there. We are on our way there, and I wish nothing but the best for the guy, which is why I'm actually going to come on the channel and hang out with him a little bit, and hopefully you guys will be able to join me for that discussion. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, because I think you guys are still going. Definitely checking out the interview later today. I've been trying to do a little bit more of these kind of things. You know, I have a lot of people that reach out to me. You know, asking me to get involved with various things. And it's tough. It's tough because I'm busy trying to do, you know, my own thing. And at the same time, and then work and then family, but then I'm also trying to still be supportive of what other people are trying to do. And so, you know, I've actually, this will be my third interview, I think in like 2 weeks. So I've been trying to do a little bit more of this stuff to help folks out, while at the same time, do a lot of other stuff in the background. There is so much stuff that is happening in the background outside of work that is directly related to this channel, that it is unbelievable, to be honest with you. But you know, that's part of what makes all of this fun, right? The excitement of it, the having lots of things to do that ultimately get presented and rolled out to people. This is the kind of stuff that I enjoy. So Reggie, will you have to wear? No, because here's the thing. It's actually, I think Bueller actually calls it a pose down. So what I think is going to happen is I'm going to wear a tank, probably this tank right here, and he is going to go shirtless with that leather vest that he likes to wear. So it'll be quite the show. My money's on me. My money's on me for the pose down. I'm gonna just declare myself the winner right now. But yeah, I may dress up. I may dress up. And by dress up, I mean put on a short sleeve shirt. I may show up appropriately dressed. Tina always has the best thoughts for me, you know, but you never know how this stuff is gonna go. You never know, you know. Whoa, that is late, my friend. That is late, my friend. 1:30 in the morning, man. You should catch that one on the rewind, brother, because somebody woke up and sent me a message the other day, and they said, I think it was a comment that was posted on video, and they were like, yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night. I was watching your video. I think I was making noise. And my wife said something about, are you watching that black comic guy? And his comment was, it could have been worse. He could have been watching something much worse than the black comic guy, you know. But I got a big kick out of it. I think the person was like up at like 4:30 in the morning or something like that. But just hilarious stuff, you know, hilarious stuff. Scrolling down, definitely, I definitely appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Very, very kind, very, very kind of you, for certain. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you got. Brother, where do you even get a leather vest these days? Never mind. It's better for me not to dig into this. We're scrolling down through the comments here. Tony Mayo says, I need more DC on the wall. You know, you know what? Here's the thing is I think that we should acknowledge. I think that we should acknowledge that, you know, there's some image stuff up there. Right. I think we should acknowledge that there is some image stuff on the wall. Right. Which is huge. Right. No, seriously, the truth of the matter is that I have a lot of DC books, but I don't have a lot of slabbed DC books. Right. I just don't. I have a lot of really awesome DC books. And in fact, if you look at my my Instagram feed, there's a healthy number of like DC books, especially Batman books that are posted up there. But I don't have a lot of major books or even minor books, to be down honest, that are actually Batman. I'm sorry, that are DC for whatever reason, right? Because I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I am definitely a Marvel guy. There's no doubt about that. I do have a couple of DC books. I have, you know, what is it? Batman Adventures 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn. I have that. And I have a signed Jim Lee book that was an AOK, or no, it was prize winning from RB3. But I don't have a whole lot in the way of DC slabs. But that could change. That could change at some point, because Showcase 22, man, Hal Jordan, I enjoyed that book. Man, at some point I may snag that. But there are so many other just wonderful Marvel books that I still must get. Scrolling down to the comments, Connie's in the house somewhere. I think I saw someone say hello to her, but the list got away from me here. Discovery Bay, how you doing, brother? There she is, Connie. How you doing? Comic Crypto Stock is in the house. It's good to see you, bro. Definitely appreciate you swinging by for just a couple of minutes. What is this? Hi all. Is Reggie's channel where I mentioned? Yes, you did. You did. You talked about there was a long discussion between you and several other people about cars and cars breaking down and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys were able to get the car repaired or in the process of getting it repaired. So scrolling down through the comments here. What is this? Reggie has grown this show. He is relying more. He is reading more than Marvel. Yes, that is facts, bro. That is facts. And the thing about it, man, is that, you know, and that's why I created some of the videos that I did around like a learner's mindset and being receptive to stuff, right? Because your experiences are your experiences. But when you start to open yourself up to other people's suggestions and thoughts, right? You start to, once you open yourself up, you start to realize that there's a lot of stuff out there, right? Like I am still very much true to, you know, Spider-Man, X-Men, Marvel, still very much true to that. But I spend a healthy amount of time reading some DC stuff and reading some independents because it makes you a more well-rounded collector. And it also makes, I think, for me, better able to engage you guys in a discussion around what's actually happening out there, right? I mean, between my own show and my hosting responsibilities for Go Collect, where I cover a lot of DC stuff, I need to be more informed. And so I can't be the best host, if you will, that I can be if I am ignorant to an entire segment of the market by saying, no, it's not DC, Marvel, so I can't read it, right? That's just, for me, that's just not the way forward, you know? So I definitely grown and continue to mature while not necessarily giving up what it is that I'm truly passionate about, you know. And that's why I was kind of making a point that I have a lot of DC, just not a lot of slabs, right? And I think just being able to say that I have DC in the collection is progress. To say that I've actually read DC is progress, right? Because again, there's a lot of really good DC stuff out there, man. But it doesn't, in some ways, it doesn't touch me to the core the same way that Marvel books do. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean it, like that first Hal Jordan, man, whoo, that is incredible. I actually enjoyed that. Some of the early Flash stuff that I read was really good stuff because I like that Silver Age kind of stuff, you know? So scrolling down through the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Pit number one, holla. Gotta love some Pit up there, brother. Man, I love Pit, brother. Seriously. Beardy, how you doing, Jerry? It's good to see you, bro. It is good to see you, my friend. All right, so we talked a little bit about the 7,000 subscriber giveaway and the fact that that prize has not yet been claimed. We talked about the fact that I'm going to be on Comics with Bueller at 5:30 today. The next thing that I want to talk about is flaking. Flaking, man. Someone has flaked. They have flaked big time after making a very big commitment. They flaked, and they flaked on Jim Lee. Somebody flaked on Jim Lee. This is a Newsarama story that came out. What was this? It actually came out, what is today? Yesterday? Today? Yesterday. It came out yesterday. Winner of Jim Lee's Huntress auction flaked, and so it is back up for bid. This is a gorgeous piece. This is the Huntress right here. Jim Lee is crushing it. And someone actually won this bid. They bid $12,855 on this Huntress piece and then could not pay for it. They flaked, and that was the winning bid, and they were unable to cover the cost. And so Jim put up a post that said, this is on Instagram, buyer flaked. Their failure is your chance at redemption if you regret it not being the highest bidder, or sorry, the high bidder on this Huntress piece of art. That was what he wrote, and this is the full sketch right there, and it's really nice. I mean, this is really well done. I mean, the speckled here stuff back here in the night sky, I think is really fantastic. I don't even know if you guys can see it. There's a little bit of a Batman over here kind of built into the city. I don't know if people fully appreciate what that is right there off to the left-hand side. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Oh man, you can't even see the pop-up. That's not cool. Oh, that is not cool. Oh man. So here on this one, there's actually a full pop-up down here on the right-hand side. But if you look at the top photo, you can actually see. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger for you guys. If you pay attention, you can actually see an outline of Batman back there in the background, kind of built into the skyline. So just a really cool sketch. And this piece is actually back up for auction right now. I think it's been put back up there for people to actually be able to bid on. And I think it's actually running through Thursday, I want to say. But so far, right? Jim Lee has actually sketched 18 sketches. He's on a road, on a path to 60 sketches total, but so far his 18 sketches have actually generated around $158,000 in bids. And again, you know, they're using the word bids here, I think smartly, because I guess not everything has been paid for. So I think that's definitely a good move. But this is really fantastic. And so this story continues to evolve, because the way that they originally talked about it was that they were basically going to be donating these funds to the Book Industry Charitable Foundation, BINC. And BINC is basically a nonprofit organization that is set up to support people that work at bookstores, comic book stores, also the employees and the employers of these institutions. And they can get some assistance, right? That's basically the way that this thing is set up. If somebody needs assistance, they can apply for it, and BINC will evaluate it based upon criteria and award cash to folks to help them out. So originally it was supposed to be that money was going to go directly to Bink. And so I think what's happening is that he's continuing with maybe others' input to brainstorm this and make this a little bit bigger. So it says the plan right now is to use these sketches, these 60 sketches that he's doing, to be covers, variant covers for upcoming DC titles. And he's also going to collect them into his own like book, if you will. And so I think this is actually really cool, because as you guys know, let me bring you back full screen real quick. As you guys know, I just picked up this little ditty right here, right, from someone. They actually sent this to me, and this is a collection of posters, 20 different posters from Jim Lee. And so my guess is that he may end up using those sketches to do something similar to this in the future. And my guess is that some of the proceeds from that book, and maybe the proceeds that come from the variants that he creates, maybe some of those funds will also go towards BINC. It isn't quite clear to me, but it's actually a really good plan. If you're going to draw 60 sketches, you might as well leverage them in several different ways, because I'm a big fan of amortization. If you're going to buy it, use it everywhere to reduce your overall cost per iteration, if you will. So I think it's definitely a good move, and really, really smart stuff that's actually happening right now. So what is this? We got to get Reggie some D. I have one. I do have one. I have a Suicide Squad. I want to say it's maybe Suicide Squad 7. That is a yellow label signed by Jim Lee. And I think it was either a prize winning or something that someone A-OK to me. It was like RB3, and I can't remember whether he gave it to me or whether I won it, to be honest. I don't remember. But I do know that it came from RB3, and it is a Jim Lee book, and it's a DC book, which is pretty cool. So at some point, I will make magic happen. So what is this? I'm kind of leery of BINC. The amount that goes to help LCS is a bit low for a charity. Their operating costs seem pretty high. And Jess Pele actually runs a comic shop. So I want to make sure that we take a moment to acknowledge his point here, because I honestly have not had an opportunity to look into BINC directly. So for those that don't know, right, charities have, yes, it's a 501c3, but not all of the money that comes in goes back out, right? They retain some of the money for their own operating expenses, overhead, administrative costs, that kind of stuff, right? Employee salaries, that kind of stuff, administration of benefits, right? But I guess what Jess Pele is saying here is that their administrative fees seem pretty high, which means that less of the money that comes in actually goes back out for some reason or another. So I wanted to at least acknowledge that comment here, because Jess Pele, smart dude, trust his opinion, and also runs a comic shop, which I think is really important to have this type of perspective, someone that's actually in the industry doing the thing. So I wanted to make sure that I kept that up there. So JLS Comics, welcome to the live stream, brother. It's definitely good to see you. Scroll, whoa, around 40%. Wow. Around 4. So they keep 60%. That is high. I mean, even Google only keeps 30% of my money. I mean, wow, that is 60%. That is yeah, that's high. Yeah, we mixed the wall up, man. I actually did it a couple of days ago, but I haven't really done a live stream pretty much all week. So you guys haven't really had a chance to see it. You're watching old videos that were recorded like 2 and 3 weeks ago right now. So 60%, that is gangster. What is this right here? Emerald Knight asking if I'm going to replenish my t-shirt inventory, very limited sizes and colors left. So the way that it works is I don't print a bunch of shirts just to have them always on hand. I do more of a I have a design, I print what I print, and then I try to sell them. And then once that inventory depletes, then I try to do something else, right? And so a lot of the inventory that I have on right now, honestly, is kind of low. I still have about 12 of the Comic Book Swoldier tank tops that I would like to pull that down just a little bit. My Garage Con variant t-shirt, the one that I did, seems not to be very popular. People don't like my design, but that's actually okay. So I have a lot of those on hand. I'd love to pull that inventory down, but there are a ton of those left, and I'm using this term loosely. Ton of those left in all sizes. With the black Comic Book Swoldier tank, there aren't a ton of those left, but they are up there. And my goal is to try to pull that inventory down just a little bit so as to put another shirt up there, because I have another that I need to get printed. But as you guys know, what I try to do is I try to take money from one project and roll it to the next project. And when the money's still tied up in one project, it's kind of tough to roll. It's not as much to roll over here. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm actually working on several different projects in the background that you guys haven't yet heard about. So the resources that I did have, those have kind of been committed and allocated to other projects. But you know, part of me, I'm always trying to do something different. I'm always trying to do something different. So let me pivot off of that before I ruin my own surprises and scroll down to the rest of these comments. No. Here it. So just Pele, just being super clear, bro. I don't think I did not take your comment that way at all, right? I think that what you were trying to do is to bring a little bit of clarity to what actually happens with that organization. So I didn't take it negatively, and I hope no one else does as well. But that's why I kind of drew the comparison between like what happens here on YouTube, right? YouTube actually takes a healthy amount of what is donated and the revenue that is generated by the channel. It is like part of it, right? It is part of the cost associated with it. But it's always this question of like, how much do you retain of it, right? That's always the big question. So no, I don't think anyone was saying that you were bashing him at all. So hopefully that's pretty clear. At least it was to me, bro. But thank you for contributing to the discussion. JLS is like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, man. What is it? Patreon takes 10% and Google takes 30%. So yeah, there are some costs associated with being able to leverage some of this stuff. So my girlfriend works for a comic book store, and she's getting our rent amount from BINC because they do help employees. That is correct. So that could be why they don't offer so much. Yeah. I mean, I think that was one of the great things when we actually dug into some of the details in a previous live stream. It wasn't just the bookstores themselves and the owners of the bookstores that could get assistance. I thought it was cool that employees could also get some assistance as well. And this is really cool because we're actually able to see the different sides of things, right? We're hearing one side from a comic shop owner, and we're also hearing a little bit from someone that works at an LCS, or at least benefits, right? I'm using this term loosely, benefits from something that BINC is actually doing. So really cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. Just got to keep your ears open. What is this? I could use an XXL when available. Being locked down is brother. That's why I've been working out as of late, because Daddy was getting kind of pudgy. So I had to do a little something. But yeah, what I typically do is I typically base the orders that I place. Based upon like previous sales, right? So if I go in and I see that there's like, and I'm making these numbers up, 20 extra smalls I'm not going to order as many extra smalls the next time. I may order like 2, right? So when things sell, it kind of sends a signal to me as to what future might look like, right? So we typically get a couple of the double XLs. I typically get like 4 of them to kind of have on hand, because I do know that guys can appreciate the larger size and having those available. But I also don't want to order too many and then have a lot of those hanging around, because I can't wear that size, right? So there's always a balance. And you typically, with me, you'll see a lot more large and extra large, because I can kind of bounce between those sizes. Whereas like the mediums, a little tough for me. And then the same thing with the double XL. But, I definitely appreciate the question about t-shirt designs and t-shirts and sizes and all that stuff. And I also appreciate the comments being made about the sizes. So I definitely appreciate where you guys are coming from with that. So scrolling down through the comments here, pretty fly for a Filipino, guys. Good to see you, brother. All right. So we just talked a little bit about the Jim Lee thing and how if you were not the highest bidder on the Jim Lee, if you were not the highest bidder on the recent Huntress sale on eBay, you may have an opportunity. You may have an opportunity to snag this dope piece of art from Jim Lee. The highest bidder of $12,855 actually flaked on Jim. So this piece is now back on the auction block. I don't have the wherewithal to do that one, so I am not going to go over to eBay to take a look at that. But if you have it, you could snag the Huntress with a Batman in the background. Kind of well done, I gotta tell you. So scrolling down, some hillbillies like, I gained the freshman 15. Man, I'm telling you, I've been doing Stairmaster and I've been lifting consistently for the last like week or so. So man, the eating just was not helpful for me. So I've been trying to do a little something, and yeah, you have to do a little something. And then we also go for the walks with the kids and stuff like that. So I just lost my chat, so bear with me as I bounce over and try to pick it up again over on YouTube. So bear with me, so that way I can actually still see what you guys are talking about. Sith Lord, how you doing? He says Jim Lee is his favorite artist. That's what's up. All right, so yeah, the chat is still out over there. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and you will not be able to hear it, but you will be able to see it, is this right here that was leaked on, not leaked, but shared on Instagram. I'm sorry. Yeah, on Instagram just the other day. I found it on YouTube. This is incredible. Venom, let there be carnage. 6/25/21. So I thought that was pretty cool right there. It looks like Carnage is going to be front and center in what is going to be happening in the Venom movie that is coming out in June of 2021. It is going to be pretty awesome. I have a feeling, I think Woody Harrelson is actually playing Carnage, Cletus Cassidy. And so I'm actually pretty excited about that. I'm not the biggest Carnage and Venom fan, to be honest with you, but I just enjoy seeing more and more comic book properties being brought to the big screen. And I know that there is a huge segment of individuals out there that are Carnage fans, and I know that there's a huge segment of people out there that are Venom fans, and then there is a group of people out there that love both of those guys. And so to be able to see this movie with that pairing actually come to life is pretty exciting. And then it's that question of, so which story is going to be told? Is it going to be Maximum Carnage that they're going to be telling, or something else, right? And then what does the future hold? What is the next story? Is this leading to Null and all in the symbiote god and all this other stuff? It is pretty exciting, especially if you are like a Carnage or Venom or Null kind of fan. This is the kind of stuff that I think you get really, really pumped about. So I saw that pop up, and I saw somebody post up on a comment. They were like, some news just came out. It's time for you to go live. And this was like, I think yesterday or day before or something like that. And I just haven't had a chance to go live just because of all the stuff that's going on in the background. But I wanted to at least acknowledge it right now. So let me bounce back over to the chat, see what you guys are talking about. What is this? Reading through some of the comments. Oh, I think you guys are going back and forth about something. Brian, how you doing from the UK? It is good to see you, my friend. Timothy is talking about love Bagley, love Maximum Carnage. Man, I'm gonna tell you what I did is I read Absolute Carnage. And then I backtracked and I read Maximum Carnage again. And I think that again, that's one of the cool things. Matt Woods is like ASM 361 just went up. Facts. Plus, we gave one of those away. We gave one, the first print and the second print. We gave those away at 5,000 subscribers. So Grapevine Comics out in Stockton. So, but yeah, though that book just went up. My guess is that the second appearance popped up as well. There's a lot of excitement around the Carnage stuff, man. So super chat just popped in. Let's see. Super honorable nephew. Oh my man, thank you, bro. Thank you for all that you do. I also want to say thank you on Instagram for an AO. Oh, that's what's up. I think it's cool that you guys are making connections like off of the channel. Like I know people that talk on the phone. I think there's a lot of you that exchange messages. People are now like connecting on Instagram. I think it's definitely cool. But thank you for the super chat, bro. I definitely appreciate that. Sith Lord is saying Carnage is a beast. Yes, indeed, he is. Let me see. I'm scrolling down through the comments. It is definitely harder to read things on this screen. Brian is saying his favorite Spider-Man artist is McFarlane, followed by Bagley. I would put them in a different order. If I went with like the three that were like popular right when I was a kid, I would probably go. I don't know. This could be blasphemy. No, I don't think it'll be. I would go with Bagley, McFarlane, and then Eric Larson. I think I like some of the stuff that Eric Larson did. I like the three of those guys when it comes to Spidey for me are pretty up there, right? And I probably like more of McFarlane's stuff, around the webbing that he did in the standalone Spider-Man title, if you will. I really enjoyed some of that stuff. Some of the stuff that he did in Amazing Spider-Man, not so much. Whereas with Bagley and Eric Larson, I like the stuff that they did in Amazing Spider-Man. So scrolling down through, what is it? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Matthew. Oh, yeah, you sure did. Matthew got ASM 363. I think that was the third appearance. Is that the third appearance or second appearance? I think the second appearance at GarageCon. Max making a couple of comments here about Maximum Carnage right there. Scrolling down to some of the comments here. Jess Pele says, I got back a handful of ASM 361 9.8s from CGC this week. Man, come on, man. Why you always rubbing it in? This dude posted up the other day. He posted up this gorgeous copy of Fantastic Four 48 that he was like, this is probably a 9.8. And again, I was not jealous. I was envious. But all the guys that own comic shops get the best books. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I have never seen a Fantastic Four 48 so nice before. It was gorgeous. It was definitely gorgeous. And I'm gonna tell you, I was honestly thinking about getting ASM 361 at a 9.8. So we might have to talk. We might have to have a quick conversation about that, bro. I'm not really trying to buy much stuff right now for a couple of different reasons, but I have a 9.6 and I was literally like, I should just get the 9.8. So maybe with super honorable nephew super chat that he just dropped there, I may be able to swing it. We'll see. Scrolling down to some of the comments, Just Pele making another comment. He says Bagley, McFarlane, Zdarsky, and Larson. That's actually not a bad rundown. That's actually not a bad rundown. I could get on board with that. Should have been Venom. Let there be Gibbon. You guys are nuts. Yeah, Clay is like, I love some minty F, bro. Bro, do you know how much money that's going to be? Jess Pele just does not he's not going to give that book away for free. He's probably not even going to sell it. He's just going to, what does it say? The FF is crazy nice. He's probably not even going to sell it. He's probably going to slide that one right off in the PC and pull the one in the PC and slide that one off and sell that one. I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. Anthony Sandy just realized that he has a second appearance of Carnage. Almost sold it too, brother. Hold on to it just a little while longer, my friend. A Venomized Gibbon will be a sweet comic. I've actually been thinking about doing we just to the point that I was making earlier when somebody was asking about t-shirts and stuff like that. I just sold the last print that I did. I had a really talented young artist create a commission for me. We made prints out of it. And he benefited because I basically paid him for the commission and paid him for the prints. And then I sold the prints, and I just sold the very last print earlier this week. And I was thinking about doing another commission and doing basically the same thing. And I wanted to do something different. So I was noodling different ideas, and I was like, man, should I work the gibbon into this new one? So I need to think a little bit more about it because there's a couple of ideas that I have in my head that I would like to bring to life. And I don't know if the gibbon fits into it, but we'll see. We'll see. I need to noodle it a little bit more. So what else you guys are talking about? Yep, the super crazy nice FF is going to the PC, and I'm selling my 9.0. See what I mean? See what I mean? The comic shop guys always have these secret stashes of really nice books that they just trade up within their own inventory. But hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had a comic shop, you better believe I'd be doing it. You better believe I'd be doing it. I'd be all, oh man, backseat drivers talking about Ramita. Man, Ramita's, I call it thick Spidey. It's like off-season Spidey, right? That cover that he did, the first appearance of Craven, Amazing Spider-Man 15. No, was it 15 or 20? You guys know which one I mean. It's the thick-waisted Spider-Man. He's under a net, and a very thick-waisted Craven is running in as well. So you got a thick-waisted Craven running towards an off-season thick-waisted Spidey. And it's just it is hilarious. It is hilarious. Let me see. What is this? I can't help it. Comics like that only come around once in a decade. I respect it, brother. I wish that I could throw these comments up on screen, but I can't because my interface is down. So I'm just having to kind of read the comments off. So you guys have to bear with me. Matt Wood, thank you, bro. 15. Thank you, bro. Sometimes the numbers get all jumbled up in there. Pandemic Spider-Man. You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. So I think I've talked about almost everything on my list that I was going to chat about, right? So just in case you came in late, I highlighted that the 7,000 subscriber giveaway contest, that prize is unclaimed. So if you haven't watched that video, you want to watch that video. If you were in second, third, fourth, you might want to be paying attention because that prize may be rolling on down the list. Jim Lee was flaked on. So we talked a little bit about that. The fact that the Huntress sketch is back up, and the Venom 2 trailer that came out, super dope. Looking forward to seeing some Carnage action be made. And then Comics with Bueller. I'll be on his show later today at 5:30. So if you guys want to come by, hang out with Bueller and myself. Matthew says, I'm third for the 7K. Are you seriously? I honestly cannot remember who's on the list, to be honest with you. Van is talking about all the great books that are up for auction right now at Heritage. I do not doubt it. What is the grade on that uncanny? So every book back there is a 9.8. I think. Wait a minute. Let me check. Yeah. So part of the reason why that wall is back there, typically the walls have a theme. And the theme of the wall right now is 9.8s. So everything back there is basically a 9.8. And I have more that are 9.8s, but I was also trying to get a little bit of some variety up there. But yeah, I picked up that 9.8 of X-Men 221. I picked that up a while ago when I saw what was happening with like House of X and Powers of 10. I basically went out and picked up a couple of books because I anticipated some things actually happening. So did I see the $10 million DC collection? I did. It is every DC comic book ever made from the beginning of DC all the way through, I think it was 2014. All the way through every single comic that DC made. I believe that is it. Someone sent that to me. I think the day that it actually went up for auction, someone hit me with that. But shout out to you, Hillbilly Comics, for raising the issue. And I appreciate it, man. You guys do a really good job of keeping me on the loop. That's how I know what's always happening. Because somebody's like, hey, did you hear about this? Hey, I just saw this. Did you know about this? So I definitely appreciate you guys keeping me in the loop, because if it wasn't for you guys, man, it'd be tough. The Bueller show should be good. Looking forward to it. You should do a show with Jim Mint and near mint condition. There was actually somebody in the chat yesterday during Comic Tom's show, and they were suggesting like we do a Comics with Bueller, Comic Tom, Jim Mint, Reggie Collects type of live stream and stuff like that. And you know, the thing is, I think the common denominator, honestly, between all of those people is that Comic Tom talks to all of us, but we don't really talk to each other. Like I've watched Jim Mint stuff for years before I even started my channel. I was watching Jim Mint stuff, but I've never actually spoken to him. No clue what his voice sounds like. Never even exchanged a message with him, to be honest with you. Comics with Bueller and I, we talk, maybe, you know, every couple of weeks we have an exchange, via direct message. Yeah, I don't know how much Bueller talks to Jim Mint, if at all. But the common denominator between all of those individuals is honestly Comic Tom. He is very much a connector, right? That's his thing is connecting people. But we've never really actually spoken before. So let me scroll down through the comments. But yeah, you know, the thing is that people are typically so busy. Will I be drinking? I have a cup of coffee right here, to be honest with you. But I try not to drink on camera. But I think people are sometimes so busy with their own channels and their own lives that, especially as YouTubers, that we don't oftentimes connect with one another, just because it takes a lot of energy to do this. And then when you're not doing this, you kind of want to relax and back away just a little bit. But yeah, if there was an opportunity for us to team up and do some stuff, it might be pretty cool, you know, might be pretty cool. What is my strategy on 9.8s, buying a slab or buying a raw near mint? Depends on the cost. Really good question. So if you guys do have questions, throw them up in all caps. It depends on the cost, right? So I actually have, I think I had 2 copies of X-Men 221 in my collection. One was already there. I bought one, and I realized that neither one of them could actually get a 9.8. One might have been close to a 9.8, but then the cost of a 9.8 was so low that it didn't really make sense to roll the dice on sending one of the ones that I owned into CGC to potentially have it come back at a different grade versus a 9.8. So a lot of it really comes down to how expensive is the book? Do I already own the book, or do I need to go out and buy the book if it's a raw book, right? And if I'm buying the book, the question is, you know, how confident am I that that book is actually going to arrive to me and then have pressable defects that can be addressed to actually get it to a 9, right? What is the chance of that? And sometimes it's risky. Sometimes it's risky to do it where you have to buy multiple copies of that book in order to get a raw copy that might qualify for a 9.8. And so it's how expensive is it? And is it possible to get that 9.8? Sometimes it's just cheaper to buy a 9.8 and be done with it. Sometimes you might even be able to buy a 9.6 if you're able to see that 9.6 or that 9.4 has some pressable defects. You might want to roll the dice on buying it, cracking it, and sending it back in and seeing if you can get the grade up. I've seen people successfully do that. I've never done it, but I've seen people successfully actually do that. And so I think you just have to look at the dollars and cents of it and evaluate whether it actually makes the sense to roll the dice. But I think I got that X-Men 221 for like $100. And I don't really talk about money, but I think it was like $100. And so if you think about the cost of getting a book, and I, you know, clean and press my own books, but if you had to buy it, ship it to you, get it, inspect it, clean it, press it, ship it to CGC, and then have them grade it, ship it back to you, you might as well just buy the 9.8 and be done at a cost of $100. You might as well just buy it and be done, right? And then if you use your Rakuten stuff that I posted up on the community tab, if you use your Ebates, you get a little bit of money back. And so it's like, well, why not just buy the $100 book instead of rolling the dice and seeing if I can get a 9.8? So scrolling down, hopefully they actually addressed the question. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. Again, a little difficult for me to see it over here, but definitely Jim Mint, Comic Tom collab, maybe even with Omar from Near Mint Condition, says Matt. Comic Tom is great. Scrolling up through the comments here. Jim Mint. Yeah, Jim Mint was on there earlier today. It was Jim Mint earlier. Then it was Comic Tom yesterday. And then I'm on today. And I think Simple Man is actually on tomorrow, if memory serves. And I'm not sure whether I'm guessing that there was somebody before it. I'm guessing there's someone else after it. I'm honestly not sure. Scrolling down through the comments here. Anyone know of any IG comic buying and selling pages in the UK. I do not. But if you hit up Hydra Collectibles and Simon Shortbox Comics, those are two guys that I think are somewhat connected over there in the UK. They produce YouTube videos. So Shortbox Comics and Hydra Collectibles, two awesome guys that may be able to guide you to someone. I'm specifically talking to Alcatraz 999. So that may help you, bro. And if you can't find those individuals, hit me up on Instagram and I'll guide you to them. And then you guys can actually have the conversation. But what is this? Just Pele, I do have a book that I bought lately that you need to see. Can't show it publicly because it might, hey, send me a message, Just Pele, because now I am intrigued as to what this book is. Reggie, when did you buy your first CGC Slab book? I don't remember what the book was. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I was on a buying spree after my first Slab, and the first Slab was purchased in 2018. It was purchased in 2018, and then after that, I just went hog wild on Slabs. Don't remember what the first one was, to be honest with you, but it wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't that long ago. So scrolling down, saw Comic Tom showing off an ASM 110. He said he had to join the Gibbon gang. So what's funny is that Tom reached out to me. He reached out to me like a couple of months ago and he was like, bro, what is this Gibbon gang? Like, what exactly is it? And so he and I were having a conversation and I was trying to verbalize to him what the Gibbon gang was. And it's hard. It's hard because the Gibbon gang, for you guys that have been here, is a very like organic thing. It is very organic. It wasn't something that I set out to create. It was something that was created out of some ad hoc comments that I made that you guys ran with. And I tried to like not indulge it initially. And then after a while, I was like, forget it. I'm gonna just go all in. But it's hard to articulate what the Gibbon gang is. You just have to be in it to know what it is. So, but yeah, Tom is part of the Gibbon gang. He picked that up, and I think he also has the Mexican version of Amazing Spider-Man 110 as well. So, which is a whole nother level. That's our affiliate chapter. It's an affiliate chapter down there. Scrolling down, Jimbo, welcome to the live stream, bro. It's definitely good to see you. Alcatraz, you are very welcome. If you need something, bro, just let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll definitely take care of you if you cannot find those other guys. So, scrolling down. Kimball says his first Slab was X-Men 266. That is not a bad book, bro. That is not a bad book at all. Scrolling down, buying comics is addicting enough. Got to watch yourself. Buying Slabs can be the next step up. So it's like a gateway drug, right? Raw comics are a gateway to more hard comics in Slab form. Scrolling down to the, I will tell you, I think I bought a Slab and was like, this is pretty dope. As soon as I touched it, I was like, this is pretty dope, right? Because when I was younger, I always lived in fear of my comics actually being damaged in some way, shape, or form. So I always lived in fear of that. And when I learned about Slabs, I was like, man, this physical protection for this comic is dope. I don't have to worry about the comic being damaged. And for me, that was very much like a big weight that was lifted because there was peace of mind that the comic was actually being protected, right? And so I went on a spree. Yes, buying comics, but I also went on a bigger spree, slabbing comics. And I literally, you guys have heard me say this before. If it slabbed, if it moved, it got slabbed, right? I slabbed everything. I slabbed a lot of books from my childhood that probably should not have been slabbed, but I didn't care because I was slabbing them because I wanted to protect them and it was for sentimental reasons. And if you think about like a lot of the videos that I create, I did videos on like 6 reasons why you should slab comics. And it was kind of a joke because I'm like, I don't tell you what to do, but I want to give you a couple of things to think about. I also did them on like videos on like head and heart, because sometimes the dollars and cents of why you slab a book doesn't add up. But it's all not always about the dollars and cents. Sometimes it's about the heart. It's about the sentimental value of what that comic actually means to you as a person, as a collector, and the dollars of it don't really matter, right? So a lot of the things that I have done are the inspiration and motivation behind the videos that I actually create. And so that's why it always ties together. So sometimes people are like, hey, do a video on this. And I'm like, well, I could do a video on that, but I have no experience with that. I don't do that way. And so everything that I would talk about would be like pure speculation. I prefer to create videos based upon my actual experiences and things that I've encountered and things that I anticipate versus I have no clue what that is. And I don't know if I want to be the one that creates a video on that. Yeah, so that's part of where like a lot of the content comes from my own experiences. So how many CGC slabs do I have? How many slabs do I have is probably a better question. I have like five short boxes for graded comics. So 5 graded short boxes full of comics. I have another box out there that is kind of like books that are on my website. So kind of like 6. And then it's probably another short box full that is currently on the wall. So I don't know what is a short box can hold about 15 to 20 slabs depending upon, right? So you can kind of do the math on that one. But yeah, I don't think it's a ton. It's nowhere near TJ Slab Dragon, who is approaching 2,000 slabs. Nowhere near that dude. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. So I don't know if this question is directed to me. It's a question about the comic book room review from Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. I don't know anything about pop culture philosophers, to be honest with you. I've seen the name pop up as of late, but I know nothing. I know nothing about that channel. So I have never actually seen that one. So let me see. Gibbon Gang is not a place, it's a people. Oh man, we actually do have we have a Gibbon shirt. We do have a Gibbon shirt that is actually up on the Regie Collects channel. It was actually hand drawn. It was a sketch that was hand drawn by a subscriber that I actually turned into a t-shirt. So we have a small supply of those. I should also mention one of the things that I don't do is I don't do a design of a shirt and just keep printing that design over and over on different colors. I don't do that, right? What I like to do is I like to create a design and I like to put it out there and sell it. And when it's sold out, I'm done with it because it's like I'm always trying to do something new. And for me, and this sounds bad, it's not about the money. It's about having some fun, and doing the same design over and over is not really fun, you know, but doing different designs, I find that to be fun. And sometimes things work and people like them, and sometimes they don't work and you have a bunch of inventory. But that is the nature of the beast. That is the nature. That's why I'm so selective in when I roll things out. So hopefully, again, just trying to continue to build upon the conversation that we've been having. Does the language of the comic affect the price you buy or sell it for? I think so. Mario, how you doing, bro? I think so. I mean, in my opinion, the best, most highest value that you're going to get for a comic is an English comic. I mean, even, you know, people in other countries treasure the English comics, and not UK English, but American comics, I should probably say is a better term. I think that those books are more prized, if you will, because and in my head, it's because this is where comics started, right? That's my guess. That's why American comics tend to be more popular than other languages. I think that other languages do have some cool books, definitely some cool artists, right? A lot of our artists that do books here are actually from other countries. Gabriel Del Otto, Umberto Ramos are just two that readily come to mind that live outside of the United States. But I think that because it was started here, you know, I think you're going to get your most bang for your buck of a comic that is actually from America. And that might to some degree or another even extend to like pence variants that exist out there, right? It's a little bit different when you talk about Canadian price variance. It's a little bit different, but even that's still North America, right? So scrolling down through some of the comments here. So here we go. So he says Robbie was Bueller's second interview on Tuesday. He reviews about 35 to 50 new books and drops it on Tuesday night before New Comic Book Day. Very cool. Very cool. I don't know how he reads that many comics. That is impressive. That is impressive to be able to do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Brandon Key says, next, man, I need to get another Marvel team up, number 141. I actually sold mine. and said to myself, I'm going to get another version, and I still haven't bought it. But I actually want to get a 9.8 of Marvel Team Up 141. I have someone actually sent me a signed Marvel Team Up 141, but I do not have a slab version of it. So I actually do need to get that at some point down the line here. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. Robbie works in a comic shop. There we go. That definitely helps, man. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest with you, if my life was really all about comics in the channel, I think that would be cool. I don't know if that's ever going to be in the cards for me, you know, potentially until I retire. But that may actually be a good thing, right? You know, one of the things about like fitness, for example, is that, you know, I always enjoy fitness because it was a hobby. But if fitness were to become a career and it became work, would I still enjoy it with the same vigor? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I think anytime something's work, I think it can, you know, it can sometimes be not as much fun, no matter how much you enjoy it. And hopefully people understand what I mean by, like, I love being a marketer, but at the same time, when I leave work, I don't want to go read clinical trials for fun. Right. And I love being a marketer in the biotech space. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, you guys are having a conversation about ASM 252 and Marvel Team Up 141. You know, so part of it, Reyes, is I don't watch a lot of those preview type videos. And like, there's a guy that I really enjoy, Comics Explain. I actually won't watch his video before I read a comic. I want to read the comic because I want to experience the comic from a reader standpoint. I don't want somebody to tell me what's going to happen and then I go read it. It's different. So I literally will not watch Comics Explains videos until after I read the comic. Or I will listen to it if I have no interest in the comic at all and I'm just trying to be entertained. I prefer to open up the comic, sit down and read it and enjoy it and in that moment for what it actually is, you know. But I think everybody's a little different. Everybody's a little different. And so if you find some enjoyment in that and what Robbie is putting out, I think that's great. You know, I'm a little bit different in that sense because I want to read it for myself. And that's also like part of the reason why I don't listen to a lot of other YouTubers, because at a certain point, your thoughts aren't necessarily original to you anymore if you're allowing all of these other voices inside your head, right? Your voice becomes their voice because it's going in. And so sometimes you have to separate yourself from that so as to come up with your own original ideas, your own original thoughts, so that when you speak with your point of view, not with another's. So that's kind of how I do it. And it's not because I don't want to support other people. It's just because I got other stuff to do. So Brian is asking a question about how I work out in the gym. Well, brother, the gym right now is down in the basement. The gym is down in the basement right now. But yeah, so for a while there, when I was creating videos, I was still managing it. I was doing a lot of recording of videos on the weekends, and I was still working out heavily during the week. And I typically always go to the gym like around, 8:30, 9 o'clock or something like that. After my kids and my wife kind of get in bed, I would go crush it at the gym. And then sometimes I would come home and I would record a video still kind of sweaty. If you look at some of my early videos, I'm still kind of sweaty because a lot of times I had just come from the gym. And, I'm one of those people, man. I like to be busy. I like to have a lot of stuff on my plate because it allows me to perform. So, it's I worked full time and got my MBA. And at the same time had multiple rental properties. So it's like, I'm just one of those people that always has a lot going on because it allows me to perform. So scrolling through the comments here. What voice actor do I hear when I read Spider-Man? I don't hear a voice actor. I'm not really big on actors. I hear Peter Parker. I when I read Spidey's voice, I hear a sarcastic Spider-Man, a sarcastic Peter Parker. I don't hear a voice actor because I honestly, be completely honest, I've only seen bits and pieces of the various Spider-Man movies that are out there. My wife doesn't really do movies. And so, I've seen bits and pieces of them on like the Netflix and that kind of stuff, but I don't really do actors so much. So for me, I hear Peter's voice. Scrolling down, Kimball's just got a shipment from CGC. That's what's up. Congrats. He says a third of the week. Baller. I think I saw one of those, right? I think I saw at least one of those. Scrolling down through the comments here. Scrolling down, Brandon's like, yep, agreed. And I've seen them all. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. For me, Peter has his voice, and it doesn't matter who the actor is. It's still Peter to me, right? When I read the comic, it's still Peter to me, and he has, in my opinion, what I realize is I have a very, I can be very sarcastic, and I wonder whether that sarcasm was influenced by Peter or whether it's natural to me. And that's part of the reason why I connect with Spider-Man the way that I do, right? The sarcasm, right? The quick quip. Is chicken or the egg, So scrolling down to some of the comments here. Spider-Verse, I watched bits and pieces of Spider-Verse with my kids, and I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. I like the opening scenes, if you will, with Miles Morales and what he was going through with his buddy and that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool, and it actually reminded me that I actually need to get some of those Miles Morales comics. And I say that because my boy likes Spider-Man. Shocking, right? Shocking. He likes Spider-Man, but he also recognizes Miles Morales a little bit. And in my head, Miles Morales could be like his Spider-Man, if you will. There'll always be Peter Parker, no doubt about that. But as they make more of these Spider-Verses and all this other kind of stuff, would Miles Morales also have a role? And so I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to get some of those books, even though they're expensive, because my kid may enjoy them in another, 5-10 years or something like that. So all right, so I am going to wrap this up. My voice is starting to go just a little bit. I need to drink more coffee, and then I need to get myself back to work because I still need to do a little bit of work today. But just as a reminder, if you guys have not yet watch all the videos this week that are coming out from the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to do that, because this is this week's Go Collect giveaway. It's a really nice copy of Avengers 196, the first appearance and origin of the Taskmaster. Really, really dope book. This book will be given away this coming Sunday as part of the Ready, Set, Go preview show. So if you have not watched the videos that have come out this week or that are going to be coming out, I definitely want to encourage you to watch those videos so that you can actually see the phrase that you need to win this book. And I definitely don't want to confuse you. I don't want to confuse you because there are two of these. This is the Go Collect giveaway for this week. This is the 7,000 subscriber giveaway that has yet to be claimed. And so this book is still available to the first person that won the book, but it has not been claimed. So if they do not claim it, it is actually going to roll to the second person. So if you are first, second, third, or fourth, you may want to send me an email, because this book will continue to work its way down the list, because people have 1 week in order to actually claim their prizes. And if you guys have some time later today, I'm actually going to be on Comics with Bueller at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you may want to come by as I chat it up just a little bit with Comics with Bueller. So with that, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. I hope that you enjoyed this chat. If you did, if you enjoyed it, hit the subscription button. If you haven't done that, turn on notifications. If you've done all that stuff, right, go ahead and smash the like button, because I definitely appreciate that, because it sends a message to me and to the YouTube machine that this is content that you enjoy. But if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, my website. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.